What is up, beautiful people of YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today it is Chop Day. Here we are on episode 2 of Project Grimace. So something I did not show in the last episode was I took the forks and triple trees off. So I went ahead before I ever turned the camera on and I made all my measurements today. Let me flip the camera around and show this to you guys. So I made all my measurements. And I measured them slightly long so that they can be trimmed back to where they need to be. I'm not going to tell you guys what those measurements are because this is not how to. I am an idiot on the internet that most of you probably just randomly found. Don't listen to idiots on the internet. Throttle Addiction is who I got my Hardtail kit from, and I am following their direction. So if you need the measurements, go get the directions from them. So I didn't tell you how to screw your bike up, you screwed your own bike up. I am a professional idiot. Leave the stupid stuff to me. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to get you guys on the tripod, and I'm going to chop this bike in half, and hopefully we'll get this all done today. We'll see. So before we do that, do me a huge favor. Give this video a big thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. That way you can follow this entire project through to completion. So enough jibber jabber. Let me throw you guys on the tripod, and let's start cutting some shit. Well, here goes nothing. There is no going back from this. Okay, so now I'm going to true up my measurements. It's easier to cut long and then true up your measurements than to try to cut it very precisely. Now I'm going to use an air grinder with a carbide bit just to clean the rust out of the holes to make everything slide together better. Alrighty, so now it's time to make these two halves. Just a little tip. If you're going to use a carbide burr like I did to clean out your tubes here, be careful. That carbide burr can remove a lot of material. So you're not like trying to like dig into it. You're just kind of lightly kissing the surface, trying to knock the rust off. So be careful with that. But everything's got a slight bevel to it. I've measured, remeasured, 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 and remeasured again. So I'm pretty confident all that is good. So now I should be able to get this hardtail section slide on. This would definitely be easier with a second person, but I don't exactly have any help here today, so it's just me. Alright, so our fit up is all done. Throttle Addiction puts a spot weld on, which should give you about an 1/8 inch gap. You want that gap so your weld can work its way down into this slug. I'm stuck with words today. Also, you want to make sure you drill these rosettes on there. I did not show myself doing that, but I did drill the rosettes, and the paint's everything's been cleaned up. I'm going to TIG weld this. Again, I'm just an idiot on the internet. Don't trust me. If you don't know what you're doing, find someone who does. I'm just winging this. At the end of the day, I'm the one who's riding this, not you. So if you're building something you're going to ride, have somebody you trust help you if you don't know what you're doing, because it's your life, right? You're the one taking the risk. But what we're going to do now is we want to spot weld this. Not really spot weld. We want to tack this in a few places, and then put the engine in, get the engine all bolted up, because the engine is the jig. If something is off, the engine won't bolt in. So I'm going to go ahead, get these tacks done, and then get the engine dropped in here, and once that's in and everything bolts up good, then we'll go from there. So I know someone's going to ask, what am I using for a welder? I have the Yes Welder TIG 205DS. It's a DC only TIG welder. Works for what I need to. I got it real cheap. I've been happy with it. You know, most people are going to want a nicer machine, but this thing does what I need it to, and I paid like $200 for it. So, all right, let's dive into this. Alright guys, so obviously I didn't film me putting the engine in, but the engine's in, everything bolted up, so that means that everything's been measured correctly, and now we can start to finish weld this. So I don't have enough time to finish this today, not that it really matters to you guys, because you guys will see the rest of this in the same video, but I'm going to go ahead and get as much of this done as I can, and then I'm going to let this cool overnight, and either tomorrow or the day after, I'll come in, I'll pull the engine back out of it, and then I will finish weld everything else. So, with all that said, I guess let's get suited up and start melting some metal. So, I went in and I ground out my TIG weld. I was just having a lot of issues with porosity no matter how much I cleaned. So I switched over to my MIG, and things are going a lot better with that. So now I can get in here and start punching all this out and getting this all done. Alrighty, so I'm going to let this sit for the night. I'm going to head home, and then tomorrow or someday this week I'll pull the engine out and finish weld, and I'll film all that when that happens. I was really wanting to TIG weld this, but I'm pretty new to TIG, and I can do real good over on my bench, but trying to work the angles on the frame just wasn't quite working, and I'm man enough to admit when something's not working. So I'm pretty decent with the MIG. The only thing I hate doing MIG is uphill, because you kind of sometimes get a little like booger at the bottom. But, you know, there's a saying that grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. So I know that my welds are good enough, because that chopper over in the corner, I have several thousand miles on with my fat ass on it. So I'm not too concerned with my quality of my welds. I always go back and I blend them. I really don't like welds being all that visible, but I know they penetrate well, and so overall, we're going to call that a day, and I will see you guys back tomorrow, which will be right about now. Alright guys, so it's been 2 weeks since I shot what you just saw. So I have the chopper sitting behind me, kind of mocked up. A lot of this is loosely done. We'll go over all that in just a second. So I wanted to apologize for the delay in this, and again, I didn't put a video out last week. So we've had a lot going on. I know YouTubers say all the time, oh, we got big things in the works, big things in the works. But we really do have big things in the works. So I can give you a little bit of information. I don't want to tell you guys everything. But so my wife and I were actually in the middle of starting a new business, as I'm currently standing inside of our current business, which will still be a thing, right? But our new business now has a name. I'm not going to tell you guys that yet. And in January, I will let you guys know all of this. We're still waiting on some stuff. So I've just been busy like you wouldn't believe. I'm a guy who hates to be on the phone. And I've just been on the phone nonstop, dealing with the city, dealing with a realtor, dealing with engineers, dealing with contractors, and bankers and whatnot. It's just one thing after another, and it's just been really stressful. So I took a little bit of time off work, went on a hunting trip for 3 days with a few friends. We didn't really have any success on that trip, but either way, it was nice to get out, be in the woods. So that's why we are where we are with this project. So let me swing around and show you guys what we've got going on. So as you saw, I finished doing the welding and then I ground my welds. I always like to blend my welds. I don't like them really being visible. I mean, there's some things like on sissy bars and whatnot where they're going to be, but any place where I can blend them, I prefer to. So this is all loosely mocked up. I mean, except for the tank, the oil tank and the fender. Those are going to be where they're going to be. The fender will have to get measured with the tail light and figure out where we're going to chop the fender. And the gas tank, this is the tank we're going with. Again, it's very Indian Larry-esque, which is what I'm going for. It may go forward a little, may go back a little. Once the bike is a roller, we can get more of that figured out. You may have noticed I changed the seat. So over there is the seat that came with this kit from Throttle Addiction. And this seat right here is from TC Bros. So the issue I have with that Throttle Addiction seat is that I'm not a small guy, and I kind of hang off that seat. It's a very small seat pan, and because I'm hanging off the end of the seat, I find it a little bit uncomfortable. Overall, the build quality on that seat is just amazing, but it's just not going to work out great for me. So I did some measuring and looking, and I still wanted a king and queen seat. So TC Bros had a much larger seat pan here, and this fits me a lot better. I've already sat on it. I'm happy with it. So that's going to be on here. Now, I will tell you, if you are on the market for one of these seats, the TC Bros, like the material they use, which I'm sure this is a marine grade vinyl, probably the same stuff that's on the Throttle Addiction seat, same type of stuff. This just isn't as durable as what's on that seat over there. But this seat does fill out the sissy bar a little better. I am going to have to modify the tab here, and I've got some just rigged up right now for mock-up purposes. So I will have to get that done. But overall, let me flip back around. You're starting to see what the bike will look like when it's done. So once again, I appreciate each and every one of you. If I can get you guys to do me a huge favor, give this video a big thumbs up, comment below, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, go ahead, bang that notification bell so you can keep up with this build, and then in the description box there's links to all of our social media as well as our company website, Headstalls.com, where we make everything for horses. There's a 5% off discount code down there, as well as there's a mailing address. If you have some motorcycle parts or stickers or something you want to send me, feel free to send whatever you got. So again, I love each and every one of you. I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out of here.